Hello everyone and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer and today I'm going to be watching the Genji and Hanzo animated short called Dragons. Since my last Overwatch animated reaction sort of video, I actually got sort of obsessed with the lore of Overwatch. I've read all of the bios on the website. I've been looking at this really cool timeline and like spreadsheet that I found. I think it's called like Oversheet or Oversheet lore. If you're on the Overwatch Reddit at all, I'm sure you've seen it, but it's really awesome. So I feel like I'm very up to date with what's going on with the lore. I know that Genji and Hanzo are brothers. Hanzo is the older brother, Genji is the younger brother. Their father is the head of the Shimada ninja clan, which is a crime ring, and they're pretty bad dudes. Hanzo was very into continuing the family business once their father passed away, whereas Genji was kind of like the playboy of the family that just sort of like had a lot of money and didn't want anything to do with the business and just wanted to do whatever. I'm not sure if it was a moral conflict so much or just being like lazy and entitled, but this whole thing led to this conflict where they fought each other, and Hanzo thought that he killed Genji, but he didn't kill Genji, and Mercy found him, who she's like the head of medical research, medical science stuff at Overwatch, and she found him and she made him into a cyborg because that was the only way to salvage his wrecked body, was to basically make him half robotic. And in seeing this great opportunity to have a essential living weapon on the team, she made him agree to help Overwatch take down the Shimada ninja clan since they saved his life, which he did. And as far as we know today, present day in the game, the Shimada ninja clan has been dismantled and Genji has left Overwatch. Obviously, Overwatch in the game would have collapsed about 5 years ago. At that point, Genji left to try to find himself. He was always one that, because the Omnic crisis, the whole Overwatch story is that, AI were advanced enough to either, think for themselves and rebel, or there were people in charge of this rebellion. And it was like this crazy, I want to say it was almost like 50 years, like decades of war between Omnics and humans. And so a lot of humans are not big fans of Omnics because of this. So Genji is really struggling with who he is, because now he's like part cyborg, and how is he ever going to come to grips with that? So he sets off on this journey to try to find peace with himself. He ends up going to Nepal, where he meets Zenyatta. Zenyatta sort of becomes a mentor to him and helps him find an inner peace per se, an acceptance of himself as the way he is now. And as of current day, he's just an adventurer and he's free and he's wandering around. My dog's got a crinkly toy. I apologize for that. But he's just a free ninja, doing as ninjas do. And I think Hanzo's alive, but the Shimada crime ring is no more. Overwatch is no more, and Genji and Hanzo are certainly not fans of each other. So after explaining all of what I know to you, I'm now going to watch the animated short Dragons, and I'm really, really excited about it. I hope that you enjoy the video. I know you guys really like my last one, so hopefully you like this one too. Okay, here we go.
Of an ancient legend about two great dragon brothers, the dragon of the north wind and the dragon of the south wind. Together they upheld balance and harmony in the heavens.
Oh, there's Lijiang Tower. Oh, the Murloc. So good. Oh no, wow, that's in the background. This is Hanamura. This is Hanamura. Maybe that wasn't Lijiang Tower. This is definitely Hanamura, the map. I think I got confused. Story of my life.
But the two brothers argued over who could better rule their land. Their quarrel turned to rage, and their violent struggle darkened the skies, until the dragon of the south wind struck down his brother, who fell to earth, shattering the land.
Oh, this is literally Hanamura, the map.
The dragon of the south wind had triumphed.
So those like Genji's security guards? Because Hanzo was taking them out.
The sweetness of the past.
Oh, that moon. So he's going towards objective B right now. Oh, and there's Genji! There's the Genjo! That was a cool silhouette.
For years, the bereft dragon's grief threw the world into discord. And he knew only bitterness and sorrow. One day, a stranger called up to the dragon and asked, "Oh, Dragon Lord, why are you so distraught?" The dragon told him, "Seeking power, I killed my brother. But without him, I am lost." The stranger replied, "You have inflicted wounds upon yourself. But now, you must heal. Walk the earth on 2 feet as I do. Find value in humility. Then you will find peace." You are not the first assassin sent to kill me, and you will not be the last.
Oh, he doesn't know it's Genji. Oh my god, Genji looks so badass! Oh my god.
The Countess Shimada Castle, the den of your enemies. This was once my home. Did your masters not tell you who I was? I know who you are, Hanzo. I know you come here every year on the same day.
I don't think he knows it's Genji.
So much to honor someone you murdered. You know nothing of what happened.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Oh, the in-game ability is so fucking rad. So fucking rad.
I know you tell yourself that your brother disobeyed the class, and that you have to kill him to maintain order. That it was your duty. It was my duty, and my burden. That does not mean I do not honor him.
Oh! This was sick! Oh my god, that was sick. Oh, that skyline's so pretty. They're fighting, I'm talking about the skyline.
You think you honor your brother Genji with incense offerings? Honor resides in one's actions. You dare to lecture me about honor? You are not worthy to stay and stay!
Wakateki Wakadao! Oh, dragon, devour my enemies. Do it. Ah, yes! Does he know now? He knows now. He knows it's Genji now. Oh my god, the animation's so good. Oh no.
Only a Shimada can control the dragons. Who are you? Do it then. Kill me. No. I will not grant you the death you wish for. You still have a purpose in this life, brother. No. No. My brother is dead.
Oh my god. Take it off.
Genji. The dragon knelt on the ground. For the first time, he was able to clearly see the world around him, and he became human. The stranger revealed himself as his fallen brother. Reunited, the two set out
Oh,
to
the shadows.
rebuild what they once destroyed.
Oh, that's so good.
What have you become? changing once again, Hanzo. And it's time to pick a side. Real life is not like the stories our father told us. You were a fool for believing it so.
You gonna shoot him?
I am a fool to think there is still hope.
You can kill your brother twice.
But I do. Think on that, brother.
Oh, the feather. Oh my god, that was so good. Is Hanzo gonna be a good guy? Yeah, I'm like teary-eyed. Okay, so recap. Hanzo's still kind of an asshole. There is no Shimada crime ring. I'm not sure who he was taking out that was guarding his Hanamura where their old camp or stomping grounds were, but he clearly is conflicted about him thinking that he murdered Genji. And like we talked about before, he also seems like he's not super thrilled with the idea of Genji being a cyborg. But we've also seen that Genji has really, truly come to peace with who he is and what he's become. And it's interesting to see that, like, you know, the reason he ended up the way he is was because he was, you know, I don't want to say irresponsible, but I don't believe that it was moral reprehensions that prevented him from, you know, working with his brother in the crime ring. I think it was much more that he was lazy and just wanted to, you know, have fun and live a normal life. But it's really impactful having a story. I don't think there's any other siblings in Overwatch that I know of. It's really impactful having siblings that really ended up on the wrong sides. They're against each other, and they would be stronger together. I would love to see this be the progression of Hanzo becoming some sort of good guy. And I'm going to assume that when he says, you know, the world is changing, he's talking about, you know, Talon and trying to incite a war, and they've enjoyed. I think Overwatch defeated the Omnics like 30 years ago. I think that's about right in the timeline. I think the Overwatch defeated the Omnics like something like 30 years ago. So they've had 30 years of, you know, maybe not perfect peace, but Overwatch took care of the Shimada Ninja Clan. They took care of the Deadlock Gang. And they've been focusing their efforts now on Talon. And Talon is systematically going through and trying to take out Overwatch agents, even though Overwatch was disbanded 5 years ago. So it makes you wonder, like, was Talon behind the Omnic crisis in the first place? Like, how long has this organization sought to bring chaos? And I guess we don't really know why they would have any motivation to do that. I do know that we've seen a couple spoilers in game of a character called Doomfist, and Doomfist is it seems like it's more of a title, kind of like Ra's al Ghul from like Arrow. Whereas, like, when one person is no longer Doomfist, the next person is passed on the weapon and becomes Doomfist. And I believe the 3 words were the Savior, the Scourge, and then whatever the new one is, right? So you had someone who brought peace, or at least, you know, gave off some sort of hero vibe, and then he was replaced by the Scourge of Doomfist, who I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that he has something to do with Talon or the Omnic crisis. And we know that the Doomfist weapon, in the very, very first Overwatch cinematic we ever saw when it was announced at BlizzCon, what was that, 2014? We saw Tracer and Winston and Reaper and Widowmaker in a museum, and they're fighting over a giant metal fist. That is the Doomfist weapon. So no one is in possession of Doomfist right now. So I'm not sure if Winston is going to try to get Overwatch back together to maybe find whoever that Doomfist, the new hero is. I'm kind of torn. I can't remember if it was the Savior, the Scourge, and the something, or the something, the Scourge, and then the next one will be the Savior. I'm not sure, but I know that I know Winston took out the last I don't know if he killed him, but I know that Winston defeated the last Doomfist, and that's how, the weapon was obtained and how it ended up in a museum. So I don't know if maybe he didn't die. I don't know if maybe Talon is working on his behalf. I don't know if these are all just psycho fan theories, but I'm very interested to see what he means by, like, the world is changing and you're going to need to pick a side. I don't know if that's metaphorically, just like you need to pick good or evil, or if that is, Overwatch is going to be regrouping, or this maybe a new group among Overwatch is going to be regrouping, or if that means... I don't know what that means, but I'm interested to find out. I believe there's still 3 more animated shorts coming. I don't know that they'll be out before the game comes out, but I know we got one that I didn't mean to not make a video about it, but it kind of happened the day that the Overwatch beta went open, so I was busy. I was real busy. But I'm really excited to see future animations. The one that I'm most looking forward to is Reaper's, because Reaper's... Of all the heroes in Overwatch, Reaper is the most magic, I guess. I can't really describe it in another word, but I mean, everybody else in the game, you can really make sense of their abilities or make logic of their abilities in a physical way. So, you have someone like Symmetra, and Symmetra's ability is to create those turrets from light, and it seems like magic, but they talk about, having this advanced technology, and she's able to bend light into solid form, and it's really advanced physics. It's in this universe, or it's really advanced engineering. It's not magic. Or someone like Mercy, who can heal and revive people. Those are all inventions that she created. Her healing wand and her damage boost is like a proton accelerator, one of which makes someone like stronger and more powerful because their cells are, kind of getting that boost. The other one will heal them because it helps them rapidly regenerate, and she can also revive them as long as they've died within a certain amount of time. Like, that's not magic. That's a device that she uses to do that. And almost every single character has a solid explanation for why they're able to do the things they do, except Reaper. I don't understand how Reaper is physically possible, because so the backstory of Reaper is that he was this guy named Gabriel Reyes when he was 18. He lived in LA. He was from America, kind of all-American guy. When he was 18, he joined the United States military. Him and Jack Morrison and a bunch of others were selected to be part of a soldier enhancement program where, through actual augmentations to their beings as well as training, they become essentially perfect soldiers. And it was the most elite members of the military that were chosen to do this. And when the United Nations formed Overwatch to help fight the Omnic crisis globally, Reyes, who's Reaper, as well as Morrison, who is Soldier 76, were chosen to be a part of this. And Reyes was actually given a leadership position right off the bat because he was good dude, solid dude, right? And when the Overwatch crisis was over, when the Omnic crisis was over, rather, Commander Morrison was granted the position of Strike Commander, which was the highest position in Overwatch, which was really made Reyes very salty, and he ended up from there joining Blackwatch, which was like the covert ops division of Overwatch. And then you fast forward like 20 years, these two still are not getting along. There's all these accusations against Overwatch of corruption and dirty weapons deals and infighting and sedition. Is that the right word? I think it is. And more specifically, that Blackwatch was accused of having rogue agents. And a few years later, the UN has been investigating this and trying to, get to the bottom of these claims, since it's a UN organization. Commander Morrison and Reyes get in some sort of altercation in Overwatch headquarters, and it causes an explosion, or so this is what we know so far. It causes an explosion, and they're both listed as dead. Obviously, Soldier 76 is not dead. He worked as a vigilante after the disbanding of Overwatch. Overwatch almost directly disbanded because of the accident at the headquarters and the loss of 2 of their, founding OG bros, or so they thought. And the next time that we saw Reyes, he was Reaper. And he, at this point, has no affiliations. He's not part of Talon. He's just a mercenary and a terrorist and a very angry, bitter dude. And he has a lot of interesting interactions with other characters in the game, other heroes in the game, like Reinhardt. If Reinhardt is near Reaper, he calls him a traitor. McCree was also part of Blackwatch. McCree, scolds him for how he's using his guns. Like, oh, we weren't taught to use our weapons for this purpose. Morrison, Soldier 76, also has some interactions where he implies that he's a traitor, and Mercy's interactions with him are the most interesting because Mercy will say to him, like, what happened to you? And he'll be like, I don't know, Doc. And if he kills someone and Mercy is around a friendly Mercy, he'll say, you know, this blood is on your hands. This is your fault. You did this. So a running fan theory is that Reaper was maybe Mercy's incomplete resurrection machine was in the facility, and either on purpose it was used to try to revive him, or maybe in the explosion it accidentally revived him, but because it wasn't done, it kind of left him lingering in between life and death, which is why he needs to like almost like be a vampire and like leech off of people's souls in order to continue living, in order to remain in this state of being. So, I mean, that's just a fan theory, but I'm very interested to know what happened to Reaper and how he went from being this all-American good guy soldier to the worst of the worst. I'm going to make a whole video on him pretty soon because he's absolutely fascinating to me. But yeah, so that was the animated short Dragons. If you would like to watch it for yourself, I have it linked in the info below. I would definitely advise, that's not quite the right word. I would recommend checking out all of the lore for Overwatch, because for a game without a story mode, the lore is phenomenal. And what's most interesting to me about that is that Overwatch as a game was kind of built up from the broken pieces of what was going to be a first-person MMO, that like a first-person shooter MMO called Project Titan that died, RIP, and they took some pieces of that and incorporated it into Overwatch. And Overwatch's lore and story was made up after the fact. And I feel like so often you have these games that maybe the gameplay is phenomenal and the lore isn't great, or the lore is phenomenal but the gameplay isn't great. And Overwatch has really found a great balance of, I mean, the gameplay is phenomenal. Everybody's been itching since the beta closed to like come back. We can't wait. I don't know what to do with myself. And furthermore, I'm so interested in all the lore and reading all the comics and watching all of the series and or all the animated shorts and reading more and learning more, because I think these worlds are so interesting, and it makes me feel connected to these characters when I'm playing a game, even though it's not a story mode. And I'm hoping, you know, maybe someday they will introduce a story mode of the game, but if they don't, that's okay, because I like getting lore in the format that we've been getting it so far. So yeah, I'm really going to end the video now for sure. But if you want to check back to my channel later this week, I actually do have a lore video for Overwatch coming out talking about Overwatch as an organization, how it founded, what they did in their prime, what they did later on, how they disbanded, and where they are now. So I think it's a pretty interesting video. I had a lot of fun writing it. It's pretty bite-sized and easy to digest. So I hope you'll come back and check that out. I also make World of Warcraft videos, and that's about it. That's all I do. Overwatch and World of Warcraft. That's my whole life. I don't just mean on my YouTube channel. I mean just in my whole life, honestly. But I think that's all I have to say this time, for real. I'm going to go. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching my video. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.